بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد وبارك وسلم الحمد لله وكفى والصلاة والسلام على عباده الذين اصطفى أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قال الله تعالى رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the most magnificent, most beneficent, most merciful. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for all his ni'mah and favors that he has bestowed upon us. All praise be to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for giving us the divine guidance of tawfiq and the life to be present in this gathering today. We have been for many, many weeks discussing the topic of protection of the gaze. I advise that because this topic is such an important topic, that maybe somebody can put together a article that we can actually publish it so that it can go out to other people and it can benefit them, inshallah. Because obviously we can't wait till our book is published, right? But we can at least publish these small little articles that will be, inshallah, included in the main book, inshallah. The student comes to the teacher. Nowadays, by the way, these type of relationships are rare. First of all, to even take somebody as a teacher and then take somebody as a guide is two different things. Teacher is somebody who teaches you something. A guide is somebody who guides you in something. It's a much more higher responsibility on the teacher. I don't know if I mentioned this about Ash'ar last week. No? So the student writes a letter to the teacher and he says, Sheikh, I have this habit of writing and reading Ash'ar. Ash'ar is what? Poetry. The Prophet ﷺ says that certain scripts, certain Ash'ar, certain poems, certain lectures, La Sihra can work magic on a person. You read something and has a great effect on you, deep effect on you. So when you read any type of non-divine book, if it is something to do with Sharia, it will still have nur in it. But if it is based on Quran and Sunnah, it will have nur in it. But any type of fiction or non-fiction, it doesn't matter what it is, besides that will have darkness in it because it's the dunya, right? So sometimes poetry can have the wrong effect on a person. So he says that when I recite poetry, it seems to trigger something inside of me. It triggers, obviously, what's it triggering? You guys tell me what is triggering. Come on, talk to me so I know that you're not sleeping. Desires, and the desire is emotion. I know that we've discussed this before, but again, you guys tell me, when a person is watching TV, when a person is watching a movie, right? Can a television drama trigger emotion? Can it make you cry? Can it make you sad? Yeah. Can it make you happy? Yeah. Can it make you angry? Yeah. Can it brainwash you? Yes. Yes or no? Yes. Yes. Can soccer brainwash you? Yes. Yeah. It's time for Salat and Man United is still playing in the Champions League. I thought I'd catch him out on that because he's a Man United fan. Alhamdulillah, at least he supports a good team. At least he's not supporting Liverpool or Chelsea or Arsenal, or Real Madrid or Barcelona. I mean, Alhamdulillah. But there's a problem. I want you to write a letter to them. They need to remove the mascot. Oh yeah. You know what the mascot is, right? Yeah. The red devil. Why does he have to be red? And why does he have to be the devil? Astaghfirullah. You can wear the kit.
No, they have a jersey.
But not every kit has a red devil on it. Lucky you nearly convinced me there. Lucky I know something about them, about them. But khair, if TV dramas can trigger emotion, it can make you happy, make you sad, it can make you angry. Tell me, can a novel is something similar to a movie?
Yes, it is.
Is poetry something similar to watching a movie? So it can also trigger what? Emotion. That's what everybody needs to know. It can also trigger what? Emotion. Now, sometimes if it is poetry in the love of Allah, the love of Allah will increase. Yes or no?
Yes.
If it is triggering in regards to the Prophet ﷺ, the love of the Prophet ﷺ will increase. If it's triggering about love, then what will increase? Not love, but some emotion will be triggered, right? And it's a drain on your actual emotions. So when you watch movies, read novels, poetry that you're not supposed to be reading, or any type of literature, every single time it triggers some emotion in your heart, it's draining that emotion, the positive emotion, the positive energy in regards to that emotion. Now, is love a good attribute or a bad attribute? Talk. Good. Anger, good or bad? Good. If utilized correctly, right? Anger, good if utilized correctly, right? To feel sad, good or bad? Good if you're sad on the right things, right? So because now sometimes when you wonder that so many atrocities are happening all around the world, how come our heart doesn't go out to those things? Why? Because your emotions are drained. Your positive emotions are drained. You don't feel what you're supposed to feel. When you see those images, when you see those things, when you see those crimes being committed, you don't feel, your heart doesn't go out, right? So because of that, our hearts have they're not gone numb, the emotion has drained, right? So you go to the doctor, says, doctor, man, I feel sad. So the doctor gives you a pill, right? What does a pill do? Talk to me what the pill does. What does it do here? No, it doesn't numb your brain. Who said that? No, besides that.
More serotonin.
Okay, say loud now.
More serotonin.
More serotonin, right? It goes, okay, give him some serotonin. Give him some good vibes, good chemicals that he feels better, right? Okay, but then you're still watching movies. You're still, you're still doing all the things that you're not supposed to be doing. Now you go to I'm feeling bad, doctor. I'm feeling worse than I even did. What does the doctor do? Increases your dosage. What does the brain do? Sends more. Okay, now, but you're still overload of emotion. Overload. So you go back to the doctor. I still don't feel good. What does the doctor do? What does he do? Gives you more. But you didn't, it's like you go to the doctor and says, doctor, I have a bad stomach. So doctor says, oh, you got such bad stomach, you've got such a bad virus, and it's going around, you need to stop all foods except just light liquids. Does that mean that, but he didn't stop the food, and he's just continually consuming the food, the fried chickens, the beef, and everything's going down him. Goes back to the doctor, my stomach's bad. He goes, okay, you need some stronger medicine. But then the doctor remember, did you actually stop eating all that stuff? He goes, no. Well, because you need, what's the doctor going to say? You don't need stronger medicine. You need to stop eating all this stuff because your stomach can't handle it. Yes or no? It's like feeding an infant baby, some chicken. Can you do that? And here's a nice baby. You'll get strong. Eat a leg here. The baby will eat it because you fed it, right? What do we learn from the exercise? I've not finished it, but a half the exercise, a half-baked cake. I've just presented a half-baked cake because I don't have time to present the whole cake in front of you. What do we learn? No, anything and everything can trigger something inside of you. Until you don't stop what you're not supposed to be doing, it doesn't matter how many precautions you take, but you have to stop doing something. Like, I can't protect my gaze. I can't stop looking at the wrong things. Well, stop looking at what? Social media. Stop looking at all those things that will harm you, that is triggering you not to protect your gaze. You don't want to do that, but you want the solution, right? So sometimes a timeout, it gives the body, it gives the body the himma, the courage to actually stop these things. Look, in the month of Ramadan, we stopped it all. Yes or no? That means we can do it. Mind over matter, that means we can do it. We can stay without food. We can stay without sleep. We can stay without watching TV. We can stay without watching sports. We can stay without what? Misuse of the gaze. Looking at stuff which is haram, because we stopped it in the month of Ramadan, right? That means we can do it. It's just that you just need to build up the courage and say, okay, this is something that is important to me. I need to start doing that. It's very easy, right? So he goes to the Sheikh, I'm reading poetry and it's triggering emotion inside of me. Negative, of course. And the reason I feel that it's negative, because I feel inclined towards sin. So obviously he deduced that because I'm being inclined towards sin, the poetry is triggering the wrong kind of emotion inside me. And I start remembering my youth. I was, mashallah, how you could have done that. I could have done this in my youth, and I could have done that. If I was just, the person starts remembering that what he thought he's missed in his life. And he gives some examples, like, for example, looking at things that are not permissible, etc., etc., etc. It goes, even though I'm not overpowered, I'm not overcome with these thoughts currently, it doesn't overpower me, because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, I keep my attention towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Or immediately when I start thinking about these things, I start thinking about Allah, by which those thoughts start to become overpowered by my, and more, Allah's remembrance is more dominant. But remember, that dominance can very easily, it's a slippery slope, isn't it? Why is it a slippery slope? Why is it a slippery slope, son? It's because, are you daydreaming? Did I just catch you daydreaming? Why is it a slippery slope? Because dominance of Allah's dhikr is dominating him currently, and it's not allowing him to act upon his impulses. But I said it's a slippery slope. Because eventually, if he continues that, if that intake is there, eventually Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's remembrance will become weaker. Allah's remembrance become weaker because of the intake of sin. He's doing so much sin, right? So because he's sinning and he's not protecting his gaze, he's going to become weaker, right? So what I do is, like, I think of good thoughts and I try to remove my negative thoughts. Answer. Because in this condition, you should completely stop reading poetry. Completely stop it. Now, sometimes people have a problem because, why did he ask me to completely stop it? Well, he could have, but obviously he knows better, right? It's just like going to the doctor. He goes, completely stop it for now. Because it's triggering the nafs with the wrong impulses, wrong emotions. And because, of it being triggered, and it's giving you all of these inclinations towards sin, then the solution is that you are actually the one that's triggering it by reading that type of stuff. You understand? Do you get it? All right. So we find that this is, if a person is reading an article, the article can also create negative emotion inside of him. he should read what creates positive emotion inside of him, right? So the student writes another question. Inshallah, we get to the topic of arrogance because that's the whole new topic under discussion today. Hopefully get there. He goes, Sheikh, I have a hidden disease in my heart. And I have a complaint against myself. He goes, it's the following. He goes, when I look at another woman besides my wife, and when I look at a strange woman, somehow the thought of this strange woman suddenly takes root in my heart. I start thinking about her. I start, because it's a strange woman. And my heart is inclined towards looking at her further. He goes, in the answer, I remember that you told us that to look is an option, and you should trigger that option of not looking and not look. That's the easiest solution for it. He goes, but I make myself so many promises not to look, but my promises still break and I still look. Can you give me a solution, a more potent solution? What do you think the Sheikh said to him? What was his mistake? What was his first? Tell me what was the mistake here. You're not following my instruction, but what did he ask for? A more potent solution, right? And that was the wrong thing to ask for Hazrat. He's gonna say, because Subhanallah. Sheikh says, Subhanallah. Because those things that a person can adapt himself and can do himself, the solution and the cure is to adopt those methods. Because what other solution can I give to you? And why would you reject my first initial solution and want a more potent solution? And why did you even request it? Why did you even request it? What happens that I give you another potent solution and you say, this is not working, give me another one? What happens then? Because then what shall I do? What will be the solution then? Because I think I know where this is all going. You continue expressing your diseases to me, and I continue giving you solutions. That's what you want. You don't want islah. You don't want to rectify yourself, because had you even bothered acting upon it, I would say that you have made some effort. But what you want is to continue telling me your sickness, and I continue giving you different medicine. Some people go to the doctor. Doctor, I have a headache. The other medicine you gave me didn't work. Doctor gives him another one. Doctor gives him a third one. When the doctor eventually stops, he comes home and tells his wife, doctor's no good. Doctor's no good. Why the doctor is no good? I went to him 3 times, he's still not fixed my headache. Who's no good? The patient's not good, because the patient doesn't know how to be a patient. You understand? The patient wants the doctor to treat him the way the patient feels that he needs to be treated. But doctor, tough medicine, right? Sometimes you're tough medicine, right? Sometimes a person needs to take drastic measures to get better. Yes or no? Look, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forbid, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala remove any difficulties and sicknesses from our bodies. I mean, but if a person got a disease and the doctor says to him, you need radiation. The guy goes, hit me with how many gamma rays? Yes or no?
Yes.
No, Bete, not like that. Bete, Munir. No, no. When the majlis is happening, you don't do salam that loudly. You do salam softly that only the person around you can hear. Okay? Mm. So, gamma rays. The guy goes, hit me. How many? Why does he suffer through that? Why does he suffer through it? Why? Because he has hope of recovery, right? Because that's the only way he's going to get cured. Oh, no, I just sorry, rephrase that. That's the only way that he's been taught that he's going to get cured, right? But so even though because the disease is severe and he wants to live and he's thinking he might lose his life, he's even ready to take on radiation, even though radiation in itself is what? Poison. Yes or no? It's harmful, right? So sometimes the solution and the remedy for diseases are not easy solutions that everybody would like. It's easy for the person to do. The solution for protecting the gaze is willfully, not willfully, using your willpower against yourself, saying this is something that I do not want to do. Now, who is there in this room that willfully wants to continue looking at haram things? Doesn't your nafs tell you it's wrong? Yes or no? Your nafs tell you it's wrong, right? So that means you don't really want to do it. But you've just not gathered up the courage and the will to stop it. That's all it is. You understand? Is this something that you wish to do when you get older? Yes or no? No. Is this something that you wish to do when you get into your 60s, into your 70s? I can swear by Allah, but I haven't reached that age yet, but I can swear by Allah that if you don't fix it now, you'll do it then too. I can swear, I could ask, but I don't want to ask. I don't want to put anybody in a difficult position, but I'm telling you, if you don't fix it, it's going to happen then too. Yes, Ismail. That's why the next... Or the person who's writing there.
Sometimes it's like making the same mistake over and over. They don't know that I'm not supposed to. I need to make that intentional decision. So for me to think about, like, I wonder if there's a better solution for me. Is that from arrogance?
No, it's your nafs trying to find an easy way out because he doesn't want to adopt the first solution. Your nafs is just trying to say, I wonder if there's an easy solution to protect the gaze. Wear sunglasses, right? That's even worse. See, he knows. Right, Sayyid Jared? What?
No.
And whilst you're driving, you're supposed to look at the road, not look at the stuff on the road, on the curbside, otherwise you get in an accident that you did. Exactly. Actually, the nafs, your nafs will say to you, there must be an easy solution because it doesn't want to adopt the first one. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. Say to the believers, what? Lower your gaze. Yes or no? Allah gives you the solution. The solution is to not to look, right? But we don't want to adopt that solution because it's difficult. Because your nafs also likes to gaze. The nafs likes to gaze. So because it likes to gaze, it says, I wonder if there's a different solution that where I can continue gazing and also somehow remedy this problem. And it convinces you that, until you don't find that solution, you can continue. The nafs is, subhanallah, the nafs no, is, it's a lion over you if you allow it to become a lion. You understand? Sometimes you need to roar back at the nafs. No, when the nafs roars at you, you need to roar back. Who are you roaring to? You understand? Or sometimes just come in the masjid and sit. Why? What you going to do in the masjid? Sitting in the good environment helps reduce, has an impact on the soul. Why? Tell me, on a Tuesday, doesn't it have an impact on your soul? When you come here just for a few moments, there's something different. When you leave, even though when you get back to work on a Wednesday, it starts wearing off very, very quickly. But your nafs is understanding what I'm saying to it. And you're understanding it better. Because, so the conclusion is that you want me to continue giving you ilaj, remedies, and you continue giving me your excuses that how you cannot take this. Doctor says, take some antibiotics. What's normal when a person takes antibiotics? What's the negative effect of it? Stomach issues, right? You're going to get stomach. You go to the doctor, that medicine you gave me, no good. Why is it not good? Because he gave me stomach issues. No, the medicine is working. That's how it's supposed. I know it's working, right? But if you want, I'll give you another one, right? Yeah, give me another one. You go to the doctor. Are you allergic to anything? Yeah, I'm allergic to penicillin. It goes, how do you know you're allergic to penicillin? When I took it, it gave me a runny stomach. The doctor goes, yeah, the guy doesn't know anything about medicine. It's supposed to give you a runny stomach. You get it? It goes, look, I'll tell you what, I have a better solution for you. If you cannot act upon my remedies and solutions that I present to you, actually, until you can act upon those, then stop writing to me. Stop writing until you can do amal on them. Because technically, I'm wasting my time. When you actually done something, then you can write me back. So the next student writes, and mashallah, this teacher gives a very superb answer, mashallah. Because I can't protect my gaze. I'm doing, my gaze is all wandering all over the place. And he goes, and you've also told me that this is an ikhtiyar. It is up to you to adopt. It is up to you to adopt the solution. It is up to you to be courageous and use your courage and lower your gaze. But because sometimes, even after trying, even without not even trying to, my gaze goes into another direction. So it seems that I don't have control over it. So it goes, if I don't have control over it, why does Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tell us to lower our gaze? It just goes, my eyes just go in a certain direction. And if it's something that I can control, then how come I can't control it? You see, he's come up with a different, like it's come up with another. Because you know what it is? I think in my courage, there is no strength. There is no will behind my courage. It seems to be that. But khair, answer. He goes, listen, the strength in your will develop over time when you actually act upon it. So this is what we learned. Very important. He brings this as you start practicing to protect the gaze, you will also develop the strength that is needed to be steadfast in it. You get it? Very important what he said. As you adopt it, as you start protecting your gaze, you will get the ability to become stronger at it too. And that's with everything in the world, right? Yes or no? Right? If you wanted to lift 300 pounds in one hand, what would you need to do?
From the smallest.
Huh?
Start from
Start from somewhere, right? But you go to the bodybuilder, I just can't lift it. And the bodybuilder goes, well, if you try to lift this one, then you might be able to lift this one. And but I want to lift that one. Right? I'll give you another. Very important. You see a student excelling in his studies. And he, mashallah, gives lectures. He understands what you don't understand. He can do tafsir al-Quran. He can do hadith. He brings it, makes it easy for you, and you eat it. And suddenly you wonder, mashallah, I want to be like that. Right? Yes or no? Sometimes you see certain ulama. I have noticed sometimes certain ulama explain a simple verse of the Quran with the simple explanation, but it has a great effect. Right? Simple, but great effect. But then you sometimes hear the most sophisticated, this is actually from this verb and that verb and that verb, a very sophisticated answer, but then the effect is not as much as the one that was very simple. But then you wonder, I want to become like that, right, Muhammad? I want to become an alim. Yes? Inshallah. Say inshallah.
inshallah.
Okay, it's okay. Now the student comes, enrolls into the institute, say, I want to become an alim. The teacher throws in front of him what? Fa'ala, fa'ala, fa'alu. Fa'alat, fa'alata, fa'alna. Yes or no? The conjugation of verbs, right? He goes, no. I want tafsir al-Quran. I want hadith. I want the cream of the science. I can't learn all this. He goes, the protection of the gaze is exactly like that student who doesn't want to make the effort, and he's comparing himself to one who's made the effort. And he wants the result of that person's effort, but he himself doesn't want to make the effort. A man wants to protect his gaze, he wants to be angelic, but he doesn't want to start even protecting the gaze. Now you understand. Yeah, mashallah. You hear a reciter of the Quran, mashallah, it's like blows you away sometimes, right? And you think, Ya Allah, I wish I could recite Quran like that. So you enroll into the Quran class, and the teacher goes, Alif, Ba, Ta, take your tongue out, Tha. Think, no, Sheikh. I'm not here for this. I'm here for A'udhu Billah. I'm here for that, Sheikh. Sheikh will say, you don't know what you're doing. Trust me. I'll get you there, but you just have to trust me, right? Guy enrolls in med school. Sorry, you need to go back and do the MCATs. What's the MCATs got to do with med school? You can just go and do the MCATs. No, I don't want to do the MCATs. I want to stand with the surgeon whilst he's doing surgery. I want to look at what he's doing. I want to get there. I want to be his apprentice. I want to stand there. Will anybody allow it? Will anybody allow it? So what will you say in regards to this person? What will you say that this person who wants to become a surgeon in one day, a person who wants to become a qari in one day, a person who wants to become a student in one day, but he refuses to make the effort that's needed for it, what will you say in regards to him? He's super lazy. Number one, he's in dreamland. He wants the fruit but doesn't want to make the effort. He wants the fruit but doesn't want to make. The protection of the gaze is identical. You want the fruit, but you don't want to make the effort. Majority of the people haven't even started protecting the gaze to even develop that strength. Even to develop that strength, we haven't even started. You understand? I think that he brings it really, mashallah, he really concludes it very, very well. Yes.
I had a question.
Bismillah.
What is the scholarly opinion on protecting the gaze in a profession where, like, a doctor
course.
and a diplomat, say, so you have to interact with females too?
There is majority of our professions nowadays will have some interaction with the opposite sex, right? But obviously there has to be the gay. So what we're taught in school is what? Make sure that you make eye contact. Yeah, make sure there's a firm handshake there. Make sure it's not too firm. You understand? Well, but our Sharia doesn't say that. Our Sharia says there should be no contact. If a doctor needs to treat a woman, then he should treat her with modesty, with keeping all of the hijabs and everything in line. And if a woman needs to go to a female doctor, she should only go to a male doctor in the absence of a female professional not available to see her, or it's an emergency case, it's life and death, it needs to be treated, that's fine. But women should go to female doctors, men should go to male doctors. And nowadays it's like the opposite, right? The society encourages it, right? So so even in professional professions where you are interacting, you have to keep your relationship super professional, very, very professional, right? Nowadays they even have a third person in the room, right? So there's no, like, there's just to make sure, to safeguard the doctor himself, there has a third person in the room. So to make sure that that third person is in the room at all times, make sure that you're still protecting the gaze as much as possible when in that interaction. But it doesn't matter which profession you're in, you need to come home and do half an hour of muraqabah every day, so that you can remove the day's acquired filth and any effects that has happened on the human heart. You can remove it. A half an hour of muraqabah and durud sharif, and or make a habit of coming to Tuesday's Majlis, so because it assists in eradicating those type of cobwebs on the heart. You get it now? Yes. Keeping in good company is the best solution, the best of the best solution. Keeping good company, there is no other better solution for that. People need to make an effort for that. Effort. Yes.
Is there any way you can completely eradicate
your nafs?
Yeah, like for example,
Sin.
I'm trying my best to lower my gaze, but the most place I avoid where it affects me the most. I love swimming, and I haven't gone to the beach in over 20 years.
Alhamdulillah.
The malls.
You can
I
go
just
to a
go in the
private
mall.
beach. If you love swimming, you can go to Assateague Island. It's nice and private there. Yeah.
With the horses.
Yeah.
Okay.
Go swim with the horses.
No, I'm serious.
No, I'm
Even
serious.
you, when I go to
I'm serious too. You can actually. I see. Look, what I'm saying. So what I'm saying to you, that instead of depriving the nafs for things that you don't need to completely deprive them of, that you can actually go to places where there is some kind of safety in the gaze, where you can, if you like swimming, or just make a swimming pool in your backyard. I mean, exactly. Or give me the money, I'll build you one here.
I'm serious. But like
I'm
you
serious too.
But like you go to the mall and all that, I just want to go buy something I want and leave.
Yeah, I mean,
Although-
obviously,
But now driving down the street, that's another problem. You have to go
can you drive without your glasses?
Yes.
Oh, there you go then. That's the solution. What you can't see can't harm you. Just don't knock them down, but yeah. No, I'm just joking with you. I'm serious too. When I'm serious, I'm serious. When I'm joking, I'm joking. But look, guys, you have to start somewhere.
Mhm.
You have to start somewhere. So starting it, can you completely eradicate it? The answer's coming.
Okay. Well,
The answer's coming, but can you completely? I think that that Sharia wants you to make an effort. When you make an effort, you will slowly understand what all the triggers that are inside of you that trigger you to do certain things. When you eliminate the triggers, you'll fix the problem. Main thing is eliminating the triggers. Now you've eliminated by, okay, you need to go to the mall, you go in, buy what you need, and you come out, that's the right way to do things, right? You know, this is not a place to hang around and chill. So that's fine. That's good too. But the nafs will always be there. It will always, you always have to keep a watch out over it.
this is now, I don't know whether this had whatever they say, coming to the end of the world, you'll go to a Muslim environment, you'll come out thinking, is there any Muslim there? Like this Eid festivals we have, not here now. I go to a family Eid festival, I'll come out, maybe 2 or 3 people wearing hijabs. I have to be like that all day long. Somebody asked me this past Eid festival, how did you have any fun? I said, well, I have fun, but I didn't enjoy myself that much. He said, why? He said, I came in and left. Nobody mentioned Allah. So I didn't enjoy myself at all. And every woman is like almost half naked. How can you avoid the gaze on that?
The only way you can avoid that
Move on.
is to keep yourself away from those type of environments. I know it's a family event, but you asked me a question, I answered the question for you. Would you like me to provide you another solution? Do you know what it is? Even if you have a family event, why can't the men and women be separate? I mean, you implement that. Why the men eat separately, the women eat separately. If you don't have that in your home from day one, that's it. From day one, those of you who are not married, from day one, it's easy. When you get married, from day one, implement the policy. When you have guests, men eat separately, women eat separately. It's easy.
Right, with family.
Anyway, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Because eventually, whilst you are acting upon this answers your question. Eventually, when a person practices in protecting the gaze, eventually the thought of looking at non-mahram women is suppressed, but the inclination remains. It's suppressed, but the inclination remains. You got it now? The thought is suppressed, but the inclination remains. Jazakallah khair. Let's do some muraqabah today because some of you left before doing muraqabah last week. Muraqabah, sit in muraqabah, please. Bismillah. Focus your mind to the heart to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If time on adhan on time. La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. Allahumma salli. برحمتك يا رب. Do muraqabah at home at least half an hour. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's time for that. This one. Keep that.